Hey there, cyclists. I am outside on a beautiful day, and I'm going to be doing a new series of videos that I haven't seen done on YouTube, and it's how to lighten up your bike. I know there's a bunch of discussions on forums and stuff that people do and they post in about it, but I haven't actually seen any videos. So I'm going to kind of break this apart into a couple part videos. But the first one I'm going to talk about is where you're going to see the most weight savings, and that's down here on the wheels. Whenever you get a bike, most of the time, even if it's an expensive bike, the manufacturers are going to skimp on the wheels because they're figuring that you're going to spend a little bit extra money after you buy the bike to put some wheels on it that you really like, that are going to be a good quality, or you already maybe have some wheels that you're going to put on it. Starting off with, this is a Giant Avail 2. It's a full carbon fiber bike. The bike as it sits, not including the wheels that are on it right now, just stock from the factory, weighed about 19 pounds. So it's not a super light bike, but I'll show you how we can, not without a lot of money, get this bike to be substantially lighter. These are the stock tires that were on it, and they're actually pretty heavy tires. They are the Giant PR 3s, and the tires are a Giant PR2. Now, first you got to understand something. When you start lightening up your bike, you're going to need to know what the conversion rate is for grams to pounds. So when you really start paying attention to the little things on your bike that add weight, you're going to start counting grams. So there is 453.59 grams to a pound. So let's say 454 grams in a pound. The stock wheels that came with this bike, and we're just going to go ahead and weigh the whole thing here. We're going to weigh the wheels, tires, and tubes, because that's what we're going to also talk about. We're going to talk about wheels, tires, and tubes. The stock wheels that came with this bike were 2,760 grams, so pretty heavy. Now, how do we get this lighter? Well, the first thing is, of course, to buy some lighter rims. Now, lighter rims don't have to cost you a fortune. What I mean by a fortune, you can spend as much as $1,500 to $2,000, even more, on some light rims. Why should you have to spend that much? Well, manufacturers like to think that you're getting what you pay for. Well, that's true in some extent, but also you're paying sometimes for a name. Excuse me. Whether it be Mavic, Zip, some of the other manufacturers. Now they make great wheels, and they're tried and true race wheels. But there are some other companies out there that are kind of independently owned and don't distribute through their stores. They sell direct to the consumer, and so the prices are a lot less. One wheel set that I'm particularly talking about is the Williams System 19s. If you've never checked them out before, go to williamscycling.com. The Williams System 19s are a 1,353 gram set of wheels. They're an aluminum clincher, so you have the ability to have a clincher type rim, so you don't have to worry about, gluing anything on or messing with that. They're very nice lead wheels. They're really light. They've got ceramic hybrid bearings. They've got bladed spokes. And they're going to be a great climbing wheel. They're not an aero wheel. They're a thin, pretty narrow wall, but they're going to be a nice light wheel to get your bike weight down. So let's do some math here. First thing, of course, is the wheels themselves. Those Williams System 19s are going to run about $570. So not as expensive as you'd think. Bontrager Zip wheels will probably cost you twice to three times that amount for a comparable weight savings. The next thing is tires. Tires and tubes are one thing that people overlook a lot when they get a light set of wheels. Just to give you an example, a cheap set of Bontrager R1s, which are just a standard wheel set, run about $30 a tire, and they are 310 grams. each. So that's a total of 620 grams. So if 453, 454 grams are at a pound, that's a little over a pound for a set of wheels. Now let's jump up to the top of their line tires, which are their R3s. And actually their R4s are just slightly lighter. They're about 10 grams less for the set. But I actually chose to get the R3s, and that's what you're seeing in front of you here. The R3s are 190 grams each. So that's 380 grams for the set. And so the difference between the R1s and the R3s is 240 grams. That's almost half a pound, just if you switch to a lighter tire. I've been racing with these R3s. They're a fantastic tire. I haven't had any problems with them. They're great rolling. They come in different colors, and I happen to like the white sidewalls. They kind of make your bike stand out. They have them in red. I believe they have them in yellow. For the ladies, if they like, they've got them in pink. And then they've just got them in standard black if you're not into the different colors. But that's kind of cool. So 240 grams difference. Next is tubes. Why are tubes important? Well, of course, that's where your air is held. Now let's just talk about a standard road tube. $9.99 each. They are a 0.9 mil wall thickness, and they are 120 grams each. So 240 grams a set. That's another half a pound. Let's go to the top of the line, Bontrager XXX race tires, which are 0.45 mils in your wall thickness. So quite a bit thinner tires. So you might wonder, well, what am I giving up for a thinner wall? The risk is, because you're at higher pressures in a thinner wall, you do risk punctures a little bit more. But I still think the trading in weight is huge. And the XXX race tires are 50 grams per tire. That's 100 grams for the set, versus the other set, which is 240 grams. You're looking at 140 grams weight savings. So let's just talk with the tires, top of the line, and tubes, top of the line. We're looking at 380 grams just for wheels, or tires and tubes. 380 grams is almost a whole pound off your bike. Now this bike, as it sat, weighed 19 pounds. So let's do some math here. Let's say we put the Williams wheels, which were 1,353 grams, added the race light tires, the race tubes. We come out to 1,733 grams. And what's that going to cost us? The total price for that is $744. And I just did a little comparison of what the wheels over here, as they sat when I weighed them, weighed 2,760 grams. So 2,760 grams stock tires versus 1,733 grams. That's a difference of 1,027 grams. What's that in pounds if you guys don't have a calculator? That's a difference of 2.6 pounds. So your 19-pound bike came down by 2.25 pounds. So that's 16.45 pounds. You've got a 16-pound bike for another $700. That's a huge weight reduction. Why is weight important? Well, if you can imagine taking a dumbbell and swinging it around your head, say 5 pounds. It's going to take you a little while to get tired, but you can do it for a while. Well, now switch that out for a 10-pound dumbbell, swing that around your head, you get tired a lot quicker. You can't go as long, and you just can't do it. Also, if you've ever taken your car to the shop, you know they put little bitty weights on different parts of the tire to balance it. Well, that centrifugal force and mass, as your tire is spinning, has the ability to change how your tire rolls, and performs. Well, that extra 2 pounds on your bike and those wheels spinning is going to make a huge impact on how long you can ride, and your performance is going to greatly increase. So, check out the Williams System 19. There's other manufacturers out there. I can just vouch for the Williams because I own a pair of their wheels and they're fantastic. These are a particular Aero set of wheels that I threw on the bike that were from my other bike. They're a felt Aero R2 wheels. Just with the Bond trigger and the felt wheels, I was able to decrease my bike's weight by 1.5 pounds. Now, I actually hadn't paid attention to tubes, so I may throw some lighter tubes in here and get my bike's weight down quite a bit more. But, as you can see, wheels, you're going to get a huge benefit and weight savings. In the next video, I'm going to talk about handlebars and stems, your seat, your bottle cage, and even down to something small like your skewers. Each thing can be switched out, of course, for a price. Not a huge price, but a price. And they can add up in weight savings. So check out my next video, and I'd like to hear you guys' comments of what things you've done to lighten up your bike.